All right, here we go.
Hey, what up, though? I'm Mirakle, Monique.
And I'm Alan J.
And this is the Conscious Outlet Podcast. Make sure you guys like for the algorithm, Share this video, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff.
Make sure you add to the conversation because we can't be as influential without you all. Because at the end of the day, it's just like Shannon Sharp's podcast. You know, we are nothing without you.
I imagined his voice when you said it.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
That was pretty good.
What about like, Cat Williams or whatever?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
He was like, buddy boy, if you we may not have all the...
I'm good. He does a great Cat Williams impression.
Who? Me?
You.
Oh.
I was talking about you.
Really?
I was telling the audience that you do a great Cat Williams impression.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he really does. It's kind of scary. I mean, that's why I said I'm not ready for you to do it right
What
now.
was your antennas when them niggas was stealing my stuff? And, since we were speaking about aliens, so,
Yes, we were. We were just talking about aliens. Yeah. I think this next conspiracy theory really falls in line with that too. Because, for example,
are y'all
baking cookies today?
Are we baking cookies today? No, but we do have popcorn.
Oh, like popcorn.
Yeah.
Because these are high conversations.
I think he's
Okay.
Okay.
This is a fun episode.
Yeah.
This is a fun episode.
Mirakle has been waiting to do this. Yes. I guess we are baking cookies today. And
if you said brownies, I think I would have understood it faster.
This is a real free speech platform.
Yes. Very.
Unlike some of the platforms
Unlike
out there.
other platforms, exactly.
Very free speech, yes.
But yes, these are conversations people have when they're high, though.
Yeah.
But we actually came to a few conclusions. Well, I did.
Yeah. Okay. What conclusions have you came to?
No,
Mirakle?
I mean in the last episode, I already said them, so I'm not gonna say it again.
Okay, you don't have to.
But I think that this next conspiracy theory does tie into the last one, where we talked about if aliens are fallen angels. So basically, if aliens. Let's say aliens are fallen angels. Let's say that. If aliens are fallen angels, that means alien activity doesn't exist. So could that mean that we actually are alone in the universe? Does this mean that the moon hoax, the moon landing could be an actual hoax and that we've never actually made it outside of our Earth atmosphere? Like, does that mean, I don't know. Could the universe not really be what we imagine it to be? Could Earth actually be the center of the universe like the people back in the day thought? Like, how they thought Earth was the center of the universe and all the other planets and the sun orbed it. Then later on, I gotta remember these people's names. And then later on that was proven that the sun is actually the center. So, I mean, hey, if those things could in fact be true, then maybe those things could also support a flat Earth. Hey. I'm just saying.
I think Mirakle really wants the Earth to be flat based on her research. But
based on this video that we're about to watch, I do want it to be
the
flat.
Earth is not flat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what our producer said, but I am disagreeing.
I'm going to play the protagonist. But go ahead.
Antagonist?
I mean the antagonist. What I mean.
Yeah, this is something I will.
Yeah.
will
Okay. Bring in. Yeah.
I'm not gonna interject too much.
I want you to.
I'm just putting down my opinion.
Okay, look,
That's what I'm
loving
gonna say.
I'm loving it because I
But if
have
I hear
been
anything
building
crazy, then
I have been building this argument for some time now. Okay. So I'm not of course saying that the Earth is flat. What I'm saying is I believe the Earth could be flat. Yes. I do believe that. Based on...
So you're saying there's a 0.0000001% chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a chance and I'm leaning on the side of the chance. Yup, sure am.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Hold on. Don't do that.
She done already took herself out.
You know what? We're going to get into this video because when we get into this video, y'all are going to see why. Make sure it starts at 28 minutes and 30 seconds.
I will try.
In this next video. Oh.
Warning. What you are about to watch
28 minutes
may
and 30
make
seconds.
you question everything you thought you knew. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's an old video. I'm just letting y'all know this is
what's up,
Shane
you guys?
Dawson.
Welcome back. Now today we're going to be talking about a lot of different theories. Some involving subliminal messages that have been around for your whole life. Oh, I hear.
Shane Dawson is not popular.
Stop it!
Okay. What are you doing? Sorry. It's okay. I'm just explaining who Shane Dawson is right quick. Shane Dawson, he's not very popular now. He's done a lot of.
We're also going to be talking about.
He's done a lot of suspect stuff lately. That's not the point. I want to talk about the content in the
some
video.
of the dark secrets
He used
involved
to.
in the world's biggest.
He used to
pop
talk
stars.
about conspiracy
Also
theories
a
a lot back in the day. That's all.
Possible warning sign.
Like 10 years ago.
2830.
2830. Yep. All right. This is him talking to his brother about the flat earth conspiracy. His brother makes a lot of excellent points that could support the flat earth theory. Keep in mind, his brother, as far as I know, is not a believer. And also, he's not fully saying that he supports a flat earth, but he gives a lot of great arguments to support a flat earth. So we'll get into that.
All the information that we get about the Earth, about space, the moon, and all these things comes from NASA. Every picture that you've ever seen is given to you by NASA. So NASA is also associated with the moon landing being a hoax.
One small step for man.
They are some of the most famous images in history. But why are there no stars in the night sky? Why is the American flag waving here when there was no air to cause any breeze?
There are moments where the crosshairs lie behind equipment.
Where guys fall forward and looks like they get yanked up by wires.
Reflected in the visor is a mysterious object.
I'm sure that's something that everyone at this point has heard of, right? All the pictures that they take of the Earth are composite images, so no images that we see are actually ever a camera from real far away looking at the Earth.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
They're all composite images because they can't just get it all in one shot, so they have to go around the Earth and take a bunch of pictures and then they piece it together.
International Space Station residents only see about 3% of Earth's surface at any one time.
If you zoom in on them, there's cloud formations that repeat several times, which how could that ever really happen? They're just copying and pasting things.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
That's one thing that builds distrust, because you have to have distrust of who's giving you your information to feel like maybe the flat Earth is feasible, right?
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Well, and even the moon landing is one of those things where, like, maybe 20 years ago, everybody thought, oh, that's stupid, that's crazy. But now, I feel like kind of everybody's down for the moon landing being fake.
I mean, they say all the footage of the original moon landing was lost.
You know what they think happened to the original moon tapes? Is they might have been taped over. It's not a cassette, it's not an old mixtape from college.
We've been unable to track it down.
And as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play it back.
It's incredible that we can keep track of Egyptian pots from 2,000 years ago, but we lose tapes made only 40 years ago.
So we lose all the footage, and all the technology was destroyed.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology.
Wait.
Exactly.
That don't
Wait,
make
what?
no sense.
It sure don't.
He said, we don't have the technology to go to the moon.
We destroyed it.
What do you mean? The technology's in somebody's brain.
Yeah.
That's not, you can destroy it all you want.
Exactly. That's the whole point. They don't want to rebuild it because they never built it in the first place. Moon landing hoax. No universe. Earth is flat. Let's turn the show
No,
off.
I don't think, yeah. I don't think that can
No,
concept
it's
of
not.
Earth is flat at all.
It's not just that simple.
I know.
But
I know.
I just think that just speaks to the fact that there's a lot of misinformation and that is brought forth by the powers that be.
Yeah.
You know, because they're going to say, hey, this is a perfect picture of the Earth when you're in school. And they don't actually explain to you that, no, it's actually a composite because of you can't only see like 30% of the Earth's surface at one point, which is fine. But at least tell me that when I'm a kid. Don't be like, hey, this is the Earth.
I agree with
Even
that.
though it is. I mean, I think it's a good representation of the Earth.
Yes, I agree with that. And because those details are not explained, like for example, when we're in school, it can build that that trust factor and have us believe that there's something that they're hiding. Because why would you withhold information
or destroy whatever technology? I actually think that guy is probably nowhere either living right now, is because he probably said too much, because that right there got us, thinking like,
look it up.
what you
So
mean?
you think that guy is dead?
I think
I don't think he said too much though. I don't think he said too much. I mean, I don't.
I
don't know.
He said the technology is destroyed, and then what are we doing now? Question, like, what you mean you all destroyed it? For what reason?
He sounds like he's leading a revolt to me.
Is there? Yeah.
Because that's another thing. It's like you're leaving out details and you're not explaining the purposes of why you're doing these weird things. Why did you destroy the moon landing technology to get to the moon? Why did you destroy it? Why are we not able to pull back up the footage that we just had 50 years ago? Why would you not tell us that the view we have of Earth is not like the actual image? Because that's what we all thought.
Yeah.
At least that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Why would you not tell us these things? Because they're not terrible things to know. If we knew these, I don't think the course of human history would change. I don't think anyone's mind would change. Actually, I think it would bring us to trust the government a little bit more if they did tell us these things. So the question is, like, why are you withholding information? Why would you not want us to know these things? And it could be because, I've seen a lot of just movies, for example. The reason they don't explain details like that is to basically protect the people from themselves, because when we know too much, we do too much.
Yeah.
Start, do what we did with COVID, buying up a bunch of toilet paper, right? Because we didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we started buying up toilet paper. And and there was fear around people starting to, maybe even do what happened and leave the world behind, where they're stocking up on materials, they're threatening to kill other people, and that's probably what the government doesn't want. So they're like, okay, so we're going to keep a certain order. So I get that, but it's like,
I mean, that even in itself is also, in my opinion, like some fallacy in that. Does the government really want a utopian, society? I don't think they, do.
I think they want control.
Well,
because to govern, doesn't that mean like order
true,
or control or something like that?
Yeah, it
so
does.
I do think they want control. And then I think about it like, okay, the way God works, right? So I'm trying to word this correctly, because God does operate the way a government would, but at the same time, he gives us free will. So he gives us standards and rules and things to live by, principles to live by. At the same time, he gives us free will, and he says, well, you can actually do whatever you want, but if you want to be in my kingdom, in my presence, you have to do these things. After accepting Jesus into your heart and everything. And so so it's kind of like the transparency factor that's not there when it comes to the government is what's concerning.
Yeah. Like, I've read something. It was a guy who actually, he went past the Antarctica walls. I think it was like in 19.
Oh, he went past them?
Yeah.
This video talks about it.
It does? Okay.
I do want to get to it and hold that story. For real, hold that story. Like, don't forget it. I'm going to remind you.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, in the meantime and in between time, Jocelyn has a comment.
Miss Jocelyn, thanks for the comment again.
Yes. When you're in the sky in the plane, there's a blue curve on the horizon. I go with round. Amen. I promise you, I never see the curve. In fact,
my dad's a pilot.
I don't see the curve. When I look out the plane, it looks straight to me. Y'all see a curve?
Because you're probably not as high, like.
Well, when I've flown to Dubai a bunch of times, I'm saying I don't see a curve at all. It looks like flat land to me.
Well, also probably why you don't, see it is because you have astigmatism or something.
That has nothing to do with it, and I feel discriminated against, and I feel unsafe. And I'm just playing.
Well, I actually, to support my claim, not saying that, okay, because people think that because it's flat, people think that it's a specific geometric shape. It can be a flat circle. It can be a flat circle sphere, which is
it's more like a dome, is what I believe. It's like a dome.
Oh yeah. So
know?
I'm glad that she said that. And so a while back I was reading in it was Isaiah 40:22. And hold on, let me see. Can I find that scripture? It's basically saying, "It is I who sits on the circle of the earth," and that's way before we had all the quote unquote technological advances that we have with the telescopes and stuff like that. So Isaiah 40:22 says, "He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and his people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heavens like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to live in." So that right there describes his majesty and power.
Yes.
And who he reigns over the heavens and earth.
What was the original word for circle, though, in that translation?
I forgot. I had to get back to you on that because I have to go to the
because it could be talking about really the firmament instead of an actual circle. Hey, we don't know because you didn't look at the translation. Ooh, bow. I'm kidding. But no, hold those. No, I get it. Hold those thoughts though, for real, because I want to watch more of the video because it gets like really interesting. So let's get it.
And then if you take science into consideration, science only works if you have one magical event that no one has to actually have proof for. Everything stems from the Big Bang Theory. Something the size of a pinhead, two atoms connecting, blowing up, and creating everything that's in this universe.
In a millionth of 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 a second, it went from a size smaller than an atom to bigger than a galaxy.
Right, and then Einstein thought of the theory of gravity, which is just a theory. You have the Big Bang Theory, the theory of gravity. So now we have a disbelief for these things. The last thing that you have to think about is religion. So in the Bible, it talks about the sea, there's the sky, there's the firmament. What the firmament is a dome.
It says that in the Bible.
Yeah, there's a firmament, so the dome shaped, the heavens are above it, and then it talks about how the earth expands to its four corners. So that also would make you feel like there could be a flat shape to it.
Okay, so really quick, give us a breakdown. What is the flat earth theory and why does it exist?
So the flat earth theory is that we are not on a ball, we're not on a sphere. We're on something that's flat. A flat plane, a planet, right, is just the word plane with a T. And Antarctica, which is in the very south, is an ice wall that's around all of the continents. So instead of us being able to go around the world, it's all enclosed by Antarctica's ice wall. So the United Nations map is actually the flat earth map model. They have actual borders around this, and then you see all the continents spread out. So if this was a globe, they spread it out like this. So that's the model that they believe in. There's an Arctic ice wall around it. And one reason this gets perpetuated and people think it's valid to think Antarctica is the barrier is because in the late 50s, there was a treaty signed by almost all the major countries of power to not let anybody go into Antarctica. So if you try to get close to Antarctica, they're gonna tell you, get the hell out of here. You could go on little explorations of it, but nothing without a bunch of people monitoring you, right? And planes don't fly over it. All flight patterns take you away from Antarctica. No one's flying directly over it. They always take a weird route. Like there was an airplane that was going from the Philippines to Los Angeles, which should be a straight route, Philippines to Los Angeles. Mid-flight, a woman, her water broke. So they had to make emergency landing. They could have either just turned around or kept going to Los Angeles. Somehow they ended up in Alaska. So the flight plan to get them from Philippines to Alaska, if you put it on a flat earth map, it's a straight line from the Philippines to Alaska. But when you put it on a globe, it makes no sense, right? So there's like, let me break some stuff down.
All right, let's pause right quick.
So what do you think about that, Mr. Prophet?
Yeah, I want to get to your story, and I definitely want to hear from the pilot. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, what?
Oh no, I thought you said you wanted to go first.
No, I said I want to hear about your story. We talking about Antarctica.
Oh, so basically, there was a guy, I want to say maybe in the early 1800s, that he actually went, I guess, past the wall, and there's like, it's like really old documentation, but apparently that nothing really came out of it, but it was like, he basically said that it was another world outside of it or whatever. And so I don't know, that could be something.
He lived to tell that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They was like, hey, man went past barrier of Antarctica and discovered. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some follow-up stuff, because while reading all of this stuff, it is so much, because I'm trying to decipher what's actually folklore and what's actually solidified. And so, I mean, at least a few hours of like researching and reading and stuff. But yeah, it was a guy who basically hiked his way past. He was like, oh, I saw another part of the earth, you know. So
that makes sense. That makes me think of the Godzilla versus King Kong movie, where it was talking about, I love those movies, where they're talking about the concept of hollow earth, and how basically they're trying to get King Kong to lead them to the hollow earth part of the earth, which is basically, if the earth is round, that means, if the earth is round, that means everyone is like walking on top of it like this. Whereas the hollow earth theory says that there's like a world inside the sphere. And so that's what the movie was basically saying. So they wanted King Kong to basically lead them to the hollow earth, because that's where he's from. That's where Skull Island came from. And that's where that's why Godzilla was able to travel so fast from like country to country, because basically he was using hollow earth as his like travel. And so what they did was they had King Kong basically lead them to the hollow earth. And there was a whole other world inside Earth, like different animals and plants, and there's like a part where there was no gravity and a part where it was closer to the core of the Earth, so there was gravity, and it was like a whole thing. So that's what you just said reminded me of.
Interesting.
So I wonder, hey, could it be a hollow Earth instead? I thought about that too. I was like, should I talk about flat Earth or hollow Earth? But flat Earth is more popular, so yeah, but hollow earth sounds cool too. Like, I could see that. So that makes sense. There being a whole other world out there. But when it came to the flight patterns, that kind of got me, because that makes sense, because when he described that on a flat earth, the plane that had to make a pit stop, it going to Alaska made sense on a flat earth, but not on a round earth, because it's in a whole different part where it's like you could have just went to LA if you were going to do that. You could have just continued the flight instead of stopping in Alaska, which is like off course. But on a flat earth, it's like, okay, that's halfway through, so that makes sense. What do you think about that, Mr. Producer?
So, well, I think first of all, I did watch this documentary when it came out, I'm pretty sure.
You seen this video before?
Yeah, because when Shane Dawson was making all those docs.
Yeah, I watched all of them.
Yeah, I used to watch
binge
most of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think as far as like the topic at hand, like does the Bible support it? I think we have to differentiate like what we understand about the world now versus the conceptualizations of, what the authors of the Bible were trying to portray. Like when you talk about like the firmament and like Genesis, it's because it goes along with the symbols that they were attuned to in that day and age, right? Because like water comes from above, but now there's like water underneath. Like there's a whole like symbolic meaning to all of that. And also like if I know there's that verse where it's like the four corners of the earth, but then it also says like as far as the east is from the west. But if the
Yeah.
earth is flat, then the east and the west are, at defined points. But if the earth is round, then they're at essentially infinite points, like a circle, right? So it's almost like, you can kind of take it either way depending on what verse you want to use. And so the Bible is not a book about science. It's a book about,
Exactly.
being attuned to Christ, essentially, and about what each author is trying to convey to the audience that he's talking to. Furthermore, what God is trying to, portray and for, Christians to gather, now in this present day as well. And so we have to understand that the Bible is not a book about scientific fact and scientific truth. It's more a book about, the revelation of Christ and what that means for our walk to become more like Christ, first and foremost. Now, I think it's cool that there's a lot of people that are trying to take what we know about the Bible or what we know from science and either prove or disprove it based on things that happen in the Bible. But that's not what the Bible is for at all. And so, I mean, that's just kind of what I think. But I mean, as far as like the earth being flat, I mean, I've never seen, and I went down this whole rabbit hole like, anybody else, when I was, probably around college, because it's just like,
why not?
I never heard of this theory. Like, let me hear what people have to say. And it's very interesting. But then I came to the conclusion, it's like, one, I don't think there's sufficient evidence that outweighs the, earth being round.
Exactly.
And it doesn't really matter.
It sure doesn't.
It is fun to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But it has, if the earth is flat or round, or whatever you said was fear, whatever
hollow
that
earth.
hollow, it has no.
It was like,
relevance
let me use a spoon, and I'm gonna dig from China to the United States. Like,
maybe
so
that's where that term came from. Dig my way to China. Maybe that's why they. I'm just thinking.
But either way, these theories have no relevance on my walk with Christ or whether I believe this or that. So.
Exactly. I agree with that completely. That's exactly why we said this is fun only, okay?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to get bogged down on, is this true? Is it not true? At the end of the day, we look at your word. Does it talk about it? If not, don't worry about it. It's really not that serious at the end of the day.
And thank you, Maxo Patu, for your comment. God bless you too, brother.
Yes, thank you so much. We'll watch a little bit more of the video. Just a little bit. And then we'll end it.
The world that we live in. Let's really analyze this. We live in a world that is all based on material things. Materialism really is what controls the country. Money, really it's about sex, it's about objects.
This is my shoe closet.
And see, it is my closet. Everything here be designer. Gucci, Louis, Versace.
It's about...
Oh, Lord.
Stop it.
Yes.
What did that little girl just say?
Is it everything here be Gucci, Versace, designer?
I think
oh my God.
That's a famous little girl though. She's not little anymore. I think she's like 20 now.
No, we need to watch that again.
I remember her.
This
I remember her.
Is my shoe closet.
And see, it is my closet. Everything here be designer. Gucci,
Y'all don't know
Louis,
her?
Versace.
It's about...
Oh yeah, isn't that the girl
Like,
that had the
little-
problem with her dad or whatever?
I think so. Yes, like her name's like Little something.
Little T or Little K
Lil
or something.
T. I think it's like Little T
It's
or
Little something.
You never heard of her?
No.
You seen it? Yeah, I know. I understand. But yeah, that was her when she was real young. But she's probably like 20 now or something like that. Yeah, she's still pretty.
Oh, Max, I think we did go over this a little bit. He's talking about what are your thoughts about this verse?
Oh.
And it is Isaiah 40:22. Yeah, you went over that.
Oh yeah, you did. You did go over that.
So,
yeah,
but
you can...
we can summarize it, but we went over it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So if you just after this video is done, if you go back a little bit from when you came in, then you'll get some perspective on that. But go ahead.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, did you want to talk about it or no? You don't have. You can
No, I
summarize
mean,
it.
I think Maxo was basically just agreeing with me and Mr. Prophet that hey,
He was just asking your opinion on it. Jeez.
I'm just saying.
It was Lil Tay.
Somebody said
Lil
Lil
Tay,
How
thank
come,
you.
How come?
Thank you.
Okay, my boy Sean.
Oh, yay.
That's my brother from another mother.
We love having you.
I'm gonna just tell y'all a quick little story about me and my boy Sean, right quick. It's not gonna take long. We met in a it was a
In the hollow earth.
no.
I understand.
But we met at a place that was called Mississippi Young Guns. And so
that sounds so country.
I know,
I love it though.
I know Mississippi
That's
Young
about as
Guns.
country as corn.
Yeah.
But I needed a t-shirt. And I was like, hey man, I said, hey man, let me borrow one of your t-shirts. He was like, all right, man. You know, he said, make sure you give it back. And I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, man, I'm gonna give your little shirt back, man. You know, and then I looked at the tag. I was like, man, you wrote your initials on here. I'm like, what you think I'm gonna take it? Cause I didn't go to Madison Central, you know what I'm saying? You know, Madison Central was like the little rich school or whatever.
Oh,
but,
okay, okay.
From us, regular, corn-fed folks in Jackson Public School. But yeah, I just had to tell that little story. Yeah, it's
Did you ever give his shirt back?
I actually
Apparently
think
not.
Apparently not. That is crazy. So
I thought I gave this shirt back.
Wow, Alan. So you over here talking about something. I'm gonna give you a shirt, and you never even gave him. You owe him a shirt.
Bruh.
You owe him a shirt.
Wow, I'm kind of I'm kind of embarrassed.
You should
right
be.
Now, you know?
You should be.
Because I actually got a picture of me in
the shirt.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, like I was like
terrible.
posted up with it, and
You're one of those. Oh God! Didn't Lawrence do you the same way with your jacket?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did a photo shoot for Lawrence, and I'm like, he was like, hey man, can I see your jacket? I'm like, this man need my jacket for. He was like, hey man, I want to
That's
do
called
a
you
photo
reap
shoot.
what you sow.
I know. I was like, that's crazy. And this man didn't even pay me. He was like, oh yeah, man, you gonna get it back based on all the people I know. I was like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
that's a Negro move.
That very much is. That is funny. I actually won't go back into the video.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about something he says in the video where another thing he mentions is like close to the end where he says that a reason that maybe the government doesn't want you to believe the earth is flat is because all the theories that pertain to a flat earth basically pertain to the possibility that the world has a purpose.
Yeah.
Because have you ever been to like a museum and you've seen like those perfect domes where there's like a perfect little environment inside where it's like a forest setting or something like that, and like they can change the weather in there. It's like a dome setting, right? And it's set up like the way the flat earth theory would essentially say that earth is, and with that being said, that's how God created the earth for us, it being perfectly suited for us, perfectly placed in the universe, perfect atmosphere for us to breathe, food for us to eat, everything we need in this perfectly built dome just for us. Whereas around Earth, we're a random thing created by the Big Bang Theory, and we're spiraling through Earth. And at any moment, we can be hit by a comet and all die.
Yeah.
And so or not a comet, what is it? Asteroid, and all die. And so that's kind of what he's getting at, where he said he likes the flat earth theory. He doesn't say he supports it or believes it, but he said he likes it because it pertains more to like having a close relationship with your creator. That's what he says. And so that's kind of why I'm kind of on the side of flat earth as well, because I think of it as more of like the dome setting where he created this suitable for us, and that's kind of not playing into what the world wants us to believe, which is that we have no purpose here, you know?
Yeah, we just here to live, make money, and then die.
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah.
That at any moment,
and that's not it,
happen.
people.
Sun could go out and we done, you know?
Yeah.
But we know that's not true because the word explains, in Revelation, basically what's going to happen for the next 20,000 years. So, hey,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts. Did we get into the conscious way quote? No, we did not.
Well, we're about to get to it. So the conscious way quote of the day, in our examination of cosmological theories, let's approach with humility and open-mindedness, guided by the pursuit of truth and the wisdom of Scripture. The key word is Scripture. And so I want to get a little bit into my bag when it comes to something like this. So what I've learned is, and I would like all the listeners to actually take this advice. I think this is probably some of the best advice that a pastor has, given me. He said that and this is from Pastor Mike at an Excel church here in Marietta, Georgia. He said, we tend to glimpse at what we need to gaze at and gaze at some of the things that we need to just glimpse at. And so what I mean by that is that maybe, for example, social media, we spend hours scrolling and looking at things that doesn't bring us closer to Christ, but we end up giving God the short end or the back end of our time and our fruits of reading the word. It's like, oh yeah, I just read 15-20 minutes and I'm good. Okay, instead of gazing at the word, meaning, hey, I'm going to get my concordance and I'm going to understand how to read this literary device. I'm going to cross-reference things from the other writers so I can be able to understand this certain goal that I want to know. Maybe for example about the Holy Spirit. Okay, so how does the Holy Spirit act? What is the characteristics of the Holy Spirit? And how should we approach our everyday life depending on the Holy Spirit and stuff. So it's something that Country's Way quote really resonates with me, is because on my daily journey as a Christian man is that continuous improvement that we talked about, that Kaizen mindset. And so I would just really tell people, gaze at the things that you need to gaze at if you want to develop. Is because I know even with myself, I spend too much time maybe endless scrolling instead of endless reading in the word. I'm conscious of how long that I read the word, but I'm not conscious of how much time that I spend on social media. And I'm quite sure that it's a lot of people out there that's doing the same thing. Well, I know that it's a lot of people that's out there that's, doing that. I'm like, oh yeah, God knows my heart. Yep. God knows that you're not treating him as the apple of, your eye. The apple of, I think I said it right. but yeah. So it's just really important that everyone remain diligently in your daily pursuit, and just understand that it's not a destination. It's not a destination, but it's a journey. And so have that accountability partner, is because this podcast wasn't created just for us to just come on and just talk about whatever we want to talk about. We literally want people to be strategic in how they approach their relationship with God and also grow. None of us are perfect. None of us have all the answers to everything, but what we're doing is seeking, and that's how you become a expositor of the word, and that means expansion. So expanding your knowledge, and that's what Christ's ministry is definitely about, is where he was expanding his kingdom that's on earth. That's in heaven on earth. And that's my TED Talk for today. All my cash apps are open. No, I'm just playing.
Oh my goodness. I completely agree with you. It's so important that we use wisdom when it comes to these things, because we can get lost in the details, and especially if we don't know the word. So that's really important, what you were saying about just making sure that we spend more conscious time in the word than we do other activities. I have to tell myself that all the time too. And it's a process when you aren't, I guess, accustomed to doing that because you're used to doing other things, and so yeah. What?
No, I didn't say nothing.
No, I don't know. You had like a sneaky smirk or something.
No, it's just you reading me wrong and being weird.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But yes, we appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Okay.
We're about to take a break, so go and get your juice and popcorn, and then come on back. Get your juicy juice and everything, or your big shot drink for all of the Southern people. But come back. We're going to expound on some more things, and we're going to definitely go from there.
Hey. The most. Oh my goodness. He put the popcorn bag up there
I know.
to show that we had popcorn.
Oh yeah, popcorn.
It's done though. I ate a lot of it, but I'm sorry guys. Bye guys.
We're coming back.